What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel to check out the content. With that being said, man, I want to speak on LeBron James and their current situation because I have a question, right? I hope people um, reply to this question in the and leave a comment. And my question is, will LeBron James and his friends be the first? Will they be the first people in history to ever get something for nothing, right? And the reason I'm asking this question is LeBron James he's been given everything since since he was a teenager. He's been given everything that he could possibly wanted. And people in his circle have also benefited from that, his family and his friends, right? And so I mostly want to focus on his friends because you're talking about grown men, right? And so if I'm with somebody and they say that yeah, get anything you want, say like you at a store and they say, well, get anything you want, man, it's all on me. And I know that my friend don't have the like he don't have no money or no, to get this stuff. And he said, and I said, well, how we gonna pay for this? He was like, don't worry about it. My friends, my friends like me, and they think I'm cool. So you know what I mean. They told me I could have anything I want, and my friends could have anything too. I'm me personally, and I know other people too. They'll be like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Because especially men, and there's nothing, I'm not no shade on women, but especially men, we always know that, ain't no such thing as a free lunch, right? And so, I'm good, don't I'm gonna pay my own way or I'm gonna get what I can afford and then leave it at that. But you have a room full of men with LeBron James, and they allow him to run this tab up in life. LeBron James wanted to be the first active billionaire basketball player. And so the powers that be allowed that to happen. LeBron James wanted to have his son play on, get drafted in the league, and the powers that be allowed that to happen. LeBron James wanted, his friend Rich Paul to start up Clutch Sports Management, right? With no experience, no college education, selling t-shirts out of a trunk, right? Not, no qualifications basically. And so the powers that be, they allowed that to happen. And they got pushback. You know what I'm like other people who were qualified and had the credentials to run that type of operation said, no, come on now, man. You got this guy jumping the line. But they overlooked that. They allowed that to happen for LeBron James. Maverick Carter was allowed to start businesses that he basically was not qualified to, you know what I mean? And he allowed to get into certain rooms with people and make and broker business deals that, he just didn't have the qualifications, right? It's one thing, like for Maverick Carter and Rich Paul, if you go into a room and you earn the right to be in there. LeBron James, like, look, man, open the door for me, let me get my foot in there, and I'm gonna work hard to prove that I belong in there. But this is not the case with these guys, right? And then sometimes certain opportunities, like I said in the beginning, certain opportunities you want to turn down. You be like, you know what? I'm gonna get this on my own, because I don't want nobody to be able to hold this over my head. And you have, sometimes you run across a man like that, a young man who come from a wealthy family, and he'd be like, you know what, I'm a work. I don't want my father to do anything for me. I want to earn my own, and prove that I can do it myself. And sometimes that's the kind of man that people should strive to be, to get things that you earn and things on your own merit because you feel better about those type of things. There's more security in things that you earn, right? But I'm just amazed at the fact that you got LeBron James sitting in a room full of men and everybody is just benefiting from the fact that LeBron James, LeBron James is getting something that and being able to run up a tab basically he running up a tab, and these guys didn't earn it. They thinking that. I don't think that this situation for Maverick Carter, I don't think that this situation for Rich Paul, I just don't think that this situation and LeBron James, I just don't think it's going to end well. There's a pattern here with these guys, right? LeBron James, and it starts with LeBron James. Like LeBron James as a basketball player, most people don't think that he plays. Um, like you talk about the flopping, you talk about the load management, and just trying to take the easy way the whole time, man. I just think that this just is a bad look. um this situation right here, if I'm I'm somebody in his circle, this situation would really have me. I would be concerned. I would be concerned. This is like being a you, I don't know. It could be the same situation where you see a young lady who tries to manipulate or finesse a wealthy older man because she's attractive. And she'll find herself thinking that she has outwitted this older guy, this older wealthy guy, and he just gonna give her things just because she's attractive. And then when she find out that it's not like that, and he want her to do something strange for some change, then she's offended. She may find herself, she can be like, I'm offended. You just wanted to use me, but you were trying to use the man at first. But then when you realize it was all a setup, and you realize that it was all a trap, now all of a sudden you want to cry victim and say that you are you're offended. And that's why I just think that for grown men, to put themselves in this type of situation, this is, I don't think it's going to end well. I That's why I say, like, will this be the first time in history that somebody has like these grown men will be able to get away with this? Like somebody's just going to give them everything that they've got. Like they have access to things that most people would not even have access to. What Without really earning it, you know, without earning. Like I said, this situation is cause for concern, and I think it's getting to a point in LeBron James's career is they've been drinking all night, and now that tab is getting ready to that tab is about to become it's time to pay that tab. And once LeBron James is no longer in the league, now the powers that be are going to ask Rich Paul, they're going to ask Maverick Carter, LeBron James, man. Like they're going to go to LeBron James first. They were like, look, man, it's time to pay that tab. We made you a billionaire. We put your son in the league. We gave your friends businesses. We gave you fame, all of this stuff, man. And then so what now? What do I get out of the situation? And the last thing LeBron James want to have to do is say, well, what do you want? You know what I mean? What can I give you? That's gonna be a crazy situation. What can I give you after you know what I mean? After you have made me a billionaire, you know what I mean? You put me in a situation, a position now where I could pass generational wealth down to my son, my daughters, my wife, because of the situation, is she's able to live a soft life. My mother can live a soft life. Man, yeah, I mean, you really owe somebody. Whereas though had LeBron James just came to the league, man, and just played hard and left everything out on, and that's and it's not easy. It's a heavy price to play when you look at how how Larry Bird was all beat up at the end of his career. Isaiah Thomas was beat up at the end of his career. But I would rather be beat up physically because of what I did on that court. LeBron, who was that? Kobe Bryant, man, was a shell of himself when it's time to retire. Michael Jordan had to have his knees drained, after before the basketball game, before he even got on the court. By the time he got to the Wizards, they say he had to have his knees drained. right? And that's because none of those guys was looking for a free lunch. None of those guys ran up a tab and then had to, expect to be able to pay that when the bar is closing. None of those guys did that. None of those men did that, right? And so now we have three young men. LeBron, well, probably they got another friend called his name Randy, but you got these guys, man, who just they sat at the bar, drank all night, and now that the bar is getting ready to close, LeBron James gonna have to pay this tab. This is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Like I said, just leave a comment, man. Let me know if y'all think that this is, that LeBron James has done enough to satisfy that tab that he ran up, to satisfy that tab that his buddies has run up. You got Rich Paul is did he marry Adele? Yeah, man, they ran a tab. So let me know, man, if y'all think this is gonna be the first time in history that somebody has ran a tab up and the bar just go ahead and say, "Oh, you good? You worth it. You don't have to pay." So that's my take on this situation, man. Like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment, and I'm gonna check y'all out in the next video. Peace.